to the fields. And indeed, the off-season overlord takes to the very field. How can lorry drivers compare? We've watched them on this very stream win in 5 twice. We haven't seen them lose tonight, but I do agree they still come into this as underdogs.
They're slight underdogs because it looked from time to time, it looked very sloppy from the lorry driver, especially in defense where double commits were aplenty. And players like RIZEX, CATALYSM, MIKEBOY surely know how to punish, as within 20 seconds, a big save is already being forced out of GOMB once and twice, but for the second time, he will not deliver. RIZEX 1-0 for Team 3.
He wouldn't be missing that time. No real chance to hit his favourite crossbar. It had already come back off the post, and a messy bit of defending. Will the fatigue set in is what I wanted to discuss. And I feel like we've been there. I know I certainly have with the weeklies. These are really feel a lot more valuable than just weeklies, but of course it's weekday nights and they're going to have daytime commitments, most of these players. And when the time gets later into the evening, when you've been playing all evening, there are well over 100 signups for each of these tournaments, right? It does start to set in, especially when you realize the lorry drivers have rolled straight into this final after the semi-final.
At some point, a weekly of this size really just devolves into an endurance run, right? You're playing Rocket League for 4 hours already. You're going to probably be playing at least another 30-45 minutes. And that's just not idly playing ranked. That is high octane. It's going to be high stress situations in a competitive environment. That just takes a lot more out of you. So the endurance aspect really not to be underestimated. And mistakes will happen because of it, as there's complete and utter carnage in the box of Team 3.
RIZEX, I mean, he had the best intentions, as did CATALYSM, but it is a...
What?
It is a textbook circus goal, and the lorry drivers will collect it all day long. I guess the circus nowadays has to be delivered on a lorry. There's a lot to pack in. And while Team 3's defense on this occasion is joining the show, we're back at 1-1.
I mean, have you seen how big some of these circus tents are? I'm not surprised that they need lorries to be all transported across countries and across continents as MIKEBOY can't transport that ball across the net, and RIZEX finds his favorite friend on the pitch. He finds the crossbar.
You've got a friend in crossbar. It's not how the classic goes. It just wouldn't even work the same, but here we are. I don't know how the scoreline has remained 1-1, but this is the world we live in. And RIZEX, he is the commander of it, albeit a passenger, it would seem. MIKEBOY now spilling the ball, but saving it once again as MIKEBOY on the turn. Look for a cheeky little finish. RIZEX couldn't quite. A landing shot. A little too greedy for that wave dash, and yet you look at the stats. GOMB there just registering the second shot of the game for lorry drivers, who are going to have to stay clinical, I think, during this series if they're going to keep that sort of offense up.
2 shots for the lorry drivers. Well, now 10 in favor of Team 3. That's a slight discrepancy, I'd say, in favor of Team 3. But at the same time, nothing really looks too dangerous. Yes, a lot of shots on target, but if they don't really threaten your position, then you can shoot as much as you like. They're not going to be sweating, as that is exactly what the lorry drivers show. It's calm, it's collected on defense most of the time.
Team 3 can take as many shots as they want, and as you say, lorry drivers won't be sweating. What sort of antiperspirant are they using is my question, because that sounds like a fantastic advert. Is this not an advert for possession, rugby down the side there for a split second? I don't know how it wasn't a goal from lorry drivers, but it was fantastic defense on that previous occasion by Team 3, as I'm very much behind the action mentally, but I'm not sure the players are ahead of it. This has been very strange.
It's almost like the lorry drivers they just take everyone down to their level. They just force this defensive play style on you, and that you don't know how to react. GOMB just picks that one off. It's an easy tap in for 2, and suddenly, apropos nowhere, lorry drivers are leading against Team 3.
We've got the Darwin theory of evolution. Now we've got the Team 3 theory of devolution. I'm not quite sure how they do it, but it is disturbingly effective at throwing their opposition off their game. GOMB very much on the ball and on the ceiling temporarily, but he's unable to find the angle That's the Fennec of CATALYSM.
Not for the first time, the CATALYSM's Fennec will be proving to be too much to beat. He's already had a handful of saves, 2, most of his team. But not enough to deny the lead for the lorry drivers, who are, again, pushing forward, but pushing forward very cautiously. Now marked by 8. Going to take it past 1. He's going to be demoing as well. And there's a shot! Saved by GOMB.
What's that knocking at the door? It's Team 3 again, trying to tie up the game, but running out of time. MIKEBOY on the ball, trying to stall it out even more, and a fantastic pinch with the side ball is going to force CATALYSM to the backboard once again into the final 20. HIBBS gets in front now, and lorry drivers, despite a minuscule shot count for the majority of this game, are commanding the business end of it into the final 10.
Midfield on lock for the lorry drivers. No way through for Team 3. Maybe now. HIBBS already airborne though. He's going to force CATALYSM to move back and mark by it. Let's give it up. RIZEX comfortably beaten by HIBBS. It's going to trickle in. It's going to be the buzzer beater to make sure nothing happens. Game 1 won by the lorry drivers.
Beautiful finish as well at the end from HIBBS. Net might be open, but that is a training pack finish to get them game first on the board in this best of 7, of course. There'll be no clean sweep for Team 3. They've got the work to do, and I'm not sure they quite expected that.
From the outset, coming in, it looked like, okay, Team 3 took the initiative in the first 1.5, 2 minutes, and then they just wanted to roll with it, right? But somehow, and I don't quite know how myself, the lorry drivers just put a wedge in their plan. And it might have just been that circus goal that they conceded, where you're just so tilted because you're like, how did we all just miss that horribly?
It can be like that, and you never know. I mean, you'd like to think it won't be a death sentence of any sort. I just worry, you know, a ship of this size, a team this good, how difficult is it to stop it from sinking once it starts to take on water? It's just a small leak for now. That first game in an unusual fashion. A little reset double maybe shows a little bit of confidence for RIZEX, but there's nothing to show for it in recent minutes, that's for sure.
Nothing yet for Team 3. It's RIZEX. Certainly will be trying. And trying he is now to recover backwards. MIKEBOY denied by marked by now RIZEX on the start. Well, finds my mark again. Good little passing 1, 2, 3 between the players in blue, but to no avail, as the defense was more than just a little bit ready for it.
Touch from MIKEBOY. HIBBS able to run onto it. RIZEX off the backboard though, a clean win for him. Backflip from CATALYSM. Perhaps a lead. MIKEBOY. Now that is a combination of players who were in theory going for the ball at the same time, but again, as a result, it's the sort of game that's going to explode at any moment. The teams and players individually so closely matched, but it could just be that one moment of brilliance or one mistake. You just never know. One double commit, perhaps, an unexpected play. We don't know what is coming next for sure.
Very difficult to read what's going to happen. I'm pretty sure the players don't even know half the time what's really going to happen on this pitch. CATALYSM tries to punch some sense into this series, but he will fail. Chaos will reign continuously up upon Manfield Knight as RIZEX bumped away by MIKEBOY. HIBBS has a beautiful backflip. Can he get around one? He does, but marked by 8 comes back just in time.
Sort of touch from CATALYSM, a little harshly done by though. The outbound roll coming off the wall made it far easier to challenge. Not too much though. Lorry drivers weren't able to capitalise too much. Just the one shot registered, and that's for Team 3 in this opening 2 minutes. Very strategic matchup, one hard to read again, like you say, by both teams. Flip reset back off the ceiling, acrobatic from GOMB on that occasion, but it just lacked the necessary venom.
The venom though delivered by MIKEBOY to demo the third, and from that they've been able to carve out this counter-attack. RIZEX up high. It's a pass it, but also, fortunately for him, wide of the target. Once more. Speed taken out by the lorry drivers, but they might have put their foot on the brake a little bit too much. RIZEX sneaks one in.
It's a satisfying finish from the German. It's a Henry the Hoover finish, just rolls it along the ground, nips in front of the defense, and a critical goal. Can they hold on to this lead is the critical question, though.
They had a lead once before in game 1, which they then comically lost.
Understatement.
The lorry drivers. Maybe the same will happen here once more. That's certainly something the lorry drivers will be hoping for. As once again, CATALYSM simply gets rid of the third man. RIZEX. Oh no, the woodwork.
I would say that would go in his Hall of Fame, but I'm pretty sure it's bloated with collections like that. What a finish from MIKEBOY. A fantastic save to match it from GOMB. That one cross court headed for the far corner, but the score remains at 1-0, but for how much longer? It spills centre, and again, GOMB is there in front, and with the demo from Mike, there's a challenge on the counter. It goes centre, but the pace of the defense and the retreat is equal to it.
Quick pace, and all the players from the lorry drivers, they did commit for that one. Had to be wary of the counter-attack. CATALYSM did exceptionally well to create some dangers once again. RIZEX now looking for a bump on GOMB, but the guardian angel of the lorry drivers will not be denied another save.
Really good play. The pace stepping up from both teams, showing the adaptiveness. They're more than capable of it. CATALYSM without a boost, though, is going to find a tough time doing that. Minimal boost required for this passing play. Beautiful downfield. GOMB with a huge paw to swipe away the attempt, though.
Attempt saved, and attempt converted up front. Clinical finishing by the drivers. HIBBS with his first of the series, and, well, a second of the series actually, but a first dunk of the series.
It's a momentous passage of play right there from the lorry drivers. License certainly acquired. End-to-end indeed. Miracle save, and now a kickoff as well. Oh my goodness.
Look at the flipper. I mean, you mentioned Space Cadet earlier, but this is peak Space Cadet. The ball just flips into Mike when he's like, oh, I still have boost in my tank. Oh, I have an open end to shoot at. Yoink, I'm going to take that one.
It's so painful as well for Team 3. You probably feel like they're more like playing Minesweeper, running into trouble and not sure where to step next. But a play like this could be just that. The save from HIBBS. MIKEBOY will tuck it in and will tied up again anyway.
MIKEBOY just cheekily avoiding the first one and then just sticking around, having trust that CATALYSM will just put it on target hard enough that even when the saves comes through, he's there to finish the job. It is the equalizer here for a Team 3, and now, well, we're pretty much as smart as we were before, and I don't, at least for me, I wasn't that smart before.
Who is the equalizer in this series? Is it RIZEX, who feels a bit like the main character, who has both given and taken at times for Team 3? It's a pinch, though. Certainly give a little bit of more teamwork vibe. MIKEBOY, though, the one making the save on this occasion with the ball bound for the crossbar regardless. HIBBS here at the end of regulation. Will he choose to create, or will he choose to take the challenge on with RIZEX in front of the net? He won't be able to squeeze it past, and GOMB now having to attempt something special. It won't be to be, and overtime it shall be.
Overtime, this time not in Game 5 for the lorry drivers, so they won't be as familiar with it having no implication of who will win the series. However, an important one nonetheless, as RIZEX has a shot. GOMB get another save. MIKEBOY, second time of asking, and he will be there for his teammates thusly.
GOMB's defense in this game has been very close, if not too immaculate. Certainly at times it has saved the lorry drivers, but will it be enough to get them a crucial 2-0 lead in this best-of-7 grand final, with the winning team, of course, taking $1,500 to their collective pockets? It's MIKEBOY trying to get them halfway to doing just that as he spills the ball around the blue end. And we have to see how Team 3 respond.
Team 3 had a good opportunity early on this overtime, but now as things have settled in, looking less and less likely that they will find a random one that will just sneak through. MIKEBOY gifting possession to RIZEX, who will just very kindly and very thoughtfully gift it back.
Yeah, I think he was expecting that from MIKEBOY. Just snatched a little bit. Easy to do with the ball so up close near the ceiling of the pitch on that occasion. RIZEX with his defensive touch will also find an opposition player, but HIBBS well reading with that one in the corner, having stolen the corner boost. Won't lead to all that much though. It's calm from GOMB, who realises he's without numbers in support and takes a patient air dribble into 50, forcing RIZEX to take time of his own and MIKEBOY to kill the pace and angle on the ball. Neither team giving an inch now. A very strategic overtime that's waiting to erupt at any moment.
Certainly trying to setting up shop now, though. The lorry drivers in that blue half, MIKEBOY. Ambitious pre-jump is missed, but the shot from nowhere from HIBBS has to be dealt with by CATALYSM, who does very well indeed to not only get the recovery, to get it forward, to get it to MIKEBOY with this dagger in the heart of the lorry drivers.
And in the 8th minute of game time, he strikes, finding the bottom corner to tie the series. It took a mammoth 16 shot total from Team 3 in blue, but they got there in the end, and probably fairly so. But poor GOMB, I mean, 5 of them saves he racked up, and I'm pretty sure the vast majority of them were quite spectacular. Muck to be feeling quite hard done by, I think.
I mean, if you have 5 games and 5 saves in any game, you're like, really 5 saves and that still wasn't enough? That's a bit disappointing. Yeah. But then you consider the quality of the saves that GOMB had, and pretty much every one of it was heroic.
They weren't enough. And that's what matters. Look how satisfyingly even the scoreboard is for Team 3. 3 goals and 3 assists, of course, for CATALYSM, who had it involvement all around the field. They've said, toilet break. Is it strategic? Is it a timeout? Is their coach there standing behind? Probably not. No, I don't think so. But, hey-ho, we move forward patiently into game 3 as the players completely forget that one of the players has gone to the toilet. Maybe they've just turned off game chat and they don't realise, but I feel like the days and the era of quick chat, unironically, in lobby are a long way past us, Mark. And to be fair for that, I am a little bit sad.
There was some great banter to be had in quick chat, right? Like, the players would just really constantly take the mick out of them, each other. But, you know, it's sad, but at the same time, probably a bit more professional now. So you take the good with the bad.
I feel like it should be quick chat only, but it should show literally on RLCS and spectator stream. I mean, like, if only everyone could have seen me being what a saved by Marky Dudar in RLCS, it would have felt a little bit better, you know, because at least it was more funny rather than sad. But again, I feel like that quick chat era just passed after about 2017 or so, and all we see about it now are sort of snarky quick chat or comments after games, you know, the odd GG or lack of GG or instant leave. It's about as interesting as it gets in terms of the drama. And to be fair, I shouldn't ask for drama, but quick chat's a different breed, and I just miss it.
Who can forget the iconic triple water save? Like, if you really mess up and you get triple water save, that's special. I can't say that I know for certain. You'll probably know better, but you've probably had a few of those in your time. Not necessarily the triple water saves.
Too many. I think everyone has been certainly ranked on the receiving end of the triple water save. In fact, it should probably have its own hotkey. If you just, you know, click it 3 times in a row because you clearly want to water save that much, it just comes up to 3 automatically. And of course, John can advise in chat with the ability to see in-game lobbies just as to how much Com enjoys his quick chat buttons. I'm curious who else there is, because there's always going to be the odd ball that breaks the trend, and that's good. It gives us that much needed exposure of times, even if some players struggle to handle it. How much will they struggle to handle this occasion in the grand final? A pre-jump handled well by MIKEBOY, who defends his goal on the line practically. We manage it through the first 2 minutes, scoreless.
scoreless and, dare I say, a bit eventless in the first 2 minutes. But MIKEBOY heard us talking about quick chatting and was like, hey, lads, there's a game going on. Can you please cast it? And now we will return to doing exactly that as he slots one left side of the goal. CATALYSM can't reach.
I don't think he had enough boost. It was a rash decision to be that high up on the backboard with limited supplies, but he had to take the chance, and with the play being so high flying as it was coming in across the pitch, it was a safe bet to figure he could reach most shots from that crossbar, but alas, not MIKEBOY's. Well enough placed to get the first goal, and there could be a second. GOMB, it's crossbar down, huge chance to double the advantage, not taken, tough to control nonetheless, but for a player of his ability, speak of controlling and getting the ball down, CATALYSM, unexpected double, but neither finds the target.
The shot finding the target, and even though on the opposite side the recovery was very well worked by MIKEBOY on the counter, MIKEBOY was there. 2 minutes to play. The lead is still intact in favor of the lorry drivers. GOMB pushing forward, awaiting a pass by MIKEBOY, receiving it and giving straight back, but a little bit too orchestrated, a little bit too obvious for a play of RIZEX's caliber. He will always snuff those passing plays out.
Indeed. It's HIBBS now, controlling, flipping, looking for the flick into the top shelf, but he's not allowed it. A strong save, and a second one here from MIKEBOY as HIBBS rises. Can't get the ball underneath though. We stay just a 1-goal differential as RIZEX hurdles over the first challenge for MIKEBOY. MIKEBOY again haunting my mind. I cannot decide, but it doesn't matter because both of them are on the ball all the time.
Neither wanted to leave the ball alone as Mark, this time around, only finding his opposite number in GOMB, who's done rather nicely there to recover, but will not make up enough ground. That has to be done by his Dutch comrade. That has to be done by MIKEBOY. CATALYSM trying to take it away, but it's so weird. It's so disjointed. Whenever Team 3 are on the back foot, they don't really find one another. Now they do. RIZEX and CATALYSM, the German duo. It strikes.
Do let him cook on the counter. Flick finds him. RIZEX with Mark hunting HIBBS, delaying his challenge. He was never gonna miss. Not even the crossbar could deny him from making it 1-1 into the final 1 minute. We head here. Mark off the kickoff, trying to send the ball forward, but again, next goal likely to decide it, but that's certainly not final until it's overtime.
It certainly seems poised. Like we're going to be seeing another overtime here. MIKEBOY trying to take in possession. CATALYSM, he's found RIZEX once. This time, no RIZEX to be found in the offensive half. He has got defensive duties on his mind first as we head into the last 30 seconds.
Corner play from GOMB. Tries to find a teammate, but it goes over HIBBS, and MIKEBOY feels kind of like his arms wrestle behind his back there. Had to go for that challenge, had no choice, but the correct choice indeed it was. GOMB demo, it's opened up, and it's 2-1 to the lorry drivers.
It's aggression, it's hatred, and you can feel through the demo. HIBBS only has got eyes for RIZEX, and his eyes did never avert from his target. He made contact, he opened the way. GOMB says thank you very much. A late leading goal here for the lorry drivers.
Love and hate can often seem so similar, Mark, and if he's only got eyes for RIZEX, then I'm not so sure there could be competition, because GOMB also removing him from the field as MIKEBOY musties past 2 challenges and waltzes the ball into the back of the net.
And it's actually a trend that we've seen CATALYSM bring into the series. It's the aggressive demo on third man, as surely not. Okay, thank God we will not see a 4th goal here for the lorry drivers. But yeah, CATALYSM brought this dynamic into the series at the start of game 2, where it was aggressively hunting for third man from the lorry drivers when they were two up and only had third to cover. And I feel like the lorry drivers just saw that happening and were like, we're going to take it, but we're going to adapt it a little bit. We're just not going to go all in. We're just going to go all in when we're first.
Yeah, fair enough. I think it's right as well that it evolves in that way. I feel like it suddenly finds that personal tone, and then every player has it on their mind. It's no longer about rotating back and getting behind and ready to rotate in to the next player and person's challenge. It's, is there any of the opponents I can take out right now? You just immediately try and find yourself a postcard, a souvenir on the way back downfield. And you're right, CATALYSM setting that trend at the beginning of game 2. But even game 1, taken by Lori's drivers, you talk about trends that have been broken, really. They took that game 1 being relatively convincingly outshot, of course. And that being said, you wonder, can that really continue to be the case? Because in game 3, they won the shot count quite convincingly. I believe it was 13 on the board. Now I wonder what Team 3's response will be. Is this just what has been happening over time? Will there be a response of sorts? Oh, I mean, that's something, but nothing came of it.
Well, it seems like the response that we can think of will be explosive. As one demo is already flown in within 15 seconds from Team 3, but it seems like further explosions may have to be delayed, if not cancelled altogether. CATALYSM finding up high. RIZEX, you can see him. He was eyeing up another demo, but the shot simply wasn't on target. He backed out of it. That one, though, will be on target. CATALYSM with an open net to shoot at.
It's this bounce off the woodwork, bizarrely bouncing around. It's central and poor from GOMB, but it is beautifully bounced in the lane of CATALYSM. We didn't even have to move. Just pluck the top shelf, and with the physical play, removing the defense, the Lorry drivers head off the road real fast, and Team 3 to the lead.
Team 3 into the lead, and also, you know, there was a cheeky little bump from Mark on the goal line as this goal finds the perfect placement, back post. Another demo to open up the way. HIBBS was confused, he was scared because CATALYSM was eyeing him up. And RIZEX says thank you, or rather Dankeschön, to his German teammates.
Indeed, a lot of work done, but I wonder how Lorry drivers' defense was so easily evaporated. Are they really Lorry drivers? Is this just a facade, Muck? Or are they simulators of the truck variety, the Euro variety? I don't know. Strange how easily they would put that ball past them after what we've seen so far this series. They've been so difficult to erode down, but Team 3, I mean, by the time I'd even asked for a response, they've already provided it. And they're very, very much on track to tying up the series as it is.
On track, certainly. Tying up this series, and the Lorry drivers, not just in this series, but throughout the entire day, have seen very on-off. They've been playing great one game and then, you know, rather poorly the next. And this trend continues into the grand final. Game 1, very good in terms of clinicality, in terms of finding the shot. Game 3, just very dominant overall. Games 2 and 4, not so much.
I mean, they so rightly, and I think we've always said that is the difference between many players of prestige, not just in terms of experience, but you see it on the field here as very bizarre defending occurring. In terms of Team 3 and the international prestige, the LAN experience that they've got compared to really nothing quite so much on that side of Lorry drivers. Sadly, no RLCS LAN experience for MIKEBOY, despite plenty in his arsenal. MIKEBOY, a champion, of course, albeit without a crowd. HIBBS and GOMB. HIBBS feels like much of his career, weird to talk about it in that regard, right, Muck? But it's not a sort of what could have been, but a permanent question: has he reached his potential? Is there another level? And GOMB, he seems more like he's climbing the stairs at the moment. It is a question of how high could he go, and will the likes of HIBBS be joining him on that journey? Or is the journey stagnating? We just don't know, and it's so difficult when you have to put different value on different competition. Many of these players waiting for RLCS to come back around, but if you're going to move mountains, you've got to start by moving the small stones, these cornerstones, these weeklies, and that's why I like to see, and we like to see, who's on top. And right now, on top in this game, it is the house, it is the prestige, the experience of Team 3, but you got to remember that this is just to tie up the series, and it could end up either way still.
Exactly. Is that It's just a tying up of the series that Team 3 is doing at the moment. Yes, they're doing it very, very well. They're doing it rather brilliantly, I'd say. But in the end, the series is far from over as CATALYSM puts one in for the highlight reels. It's beautiful control, it's a clean reset, and it's an unsavable air dribble from CATALYSM.
Straight up, indeed. No man's land for MIKEBOY, who turned back from the challenge. It wasn't a favorable one that he had a chance to take it immediately either, but the second he turned back, he knew he was at the mercy of the Catalyst, who showed none of that whatsoever. And a flipping field towards RIZEX, trying to make it 4, but with a convincing 3-goal lead heading for the final minute. Lorry drivers asking themselves, are we going next? It's a comeback that they've all, I'm sure, performed before. It's very difficult under these circumstances.
4 goals in a minute, certainly not impossible though, as things stand. And as you say, very, very improbable here for the lorry drivers. But they needn't be worried, because like the script at the moment still goes in their favor. As long as they keep winning the odd games, they're going to win the series eventually in Game 7.
Yeah, I guess literally odd games. You're right, and it has been odd from the lorry drivers. Perhaps it would be nice, a little more steady and consistent, but that is, frankly, too much to ask for, and we wouldn't want it to be consistent. We want the heaps, the loops and turns on this roller coaster ride that we are on in the Rendezvous, in this grand final, and I think there could be another few twists and turns yet to come, because it's another Game 5, but this one shan't be decisive. It's where we're headed regardless, though. 2-2 it is.
2-2. Team 3 able to equalize and do so in quite dominant fashion, but now, well, Game 5 today has really been the lorry drivers' bread and butter ever since the quarterfinals. Game 5 victory against GOMB. Game 5 victory in the semis against 100%. And now, once more, in a Game 5, they are asked, and they are tasked, to win it, to continue and to secure themselves match point.
Will they? It's been their bread and butter, you say. It's been their beans on toast, been their crumpets and jam. I mean, what would it be for you? What's your favorite culinary combination?
Anything with steak, I guess. I don't know.
Anything with steak? Yeah, but like, I'm not about that. Something simple, you know, not like a full meal.
Yeah. The problem is we don't really have that here in Germany, right? It's like bacon and eggs. Bacon and eggs. Give me bacon and eggs.
To be fair,
that's a great one.
Yeah, I feel like I'm sort of always proud of English breakfast and the hotel breakfast that so often follows suit. But having stayed in German hotels, my goodness, you're right. Like, it is steak, it is bacon, and it is eggs. I mean, I've never seen a breakfast bar offer steak at breakfast, but you know, right? In Germany, it's very savoury. It is. You know what? I don't even mind it. I respect it.
Honestly, I can walk away from today and having your respect for Germany's breakfast. I can take it, and I'll be a happy man. Who will not be a happy man though, walking away today, I feel like will be the loser of whatever the series will produce, because as it stands, the difference between, well, $500 in your pocket and $200 in your pocket may just be a tiny bit too substantial, as GOMB secures a Game 5 lead.
Only players of this variety would be sad about $200 in their pocket after today, but rightly so. They have absolutely the chance to win it and take it all, and we are yet to find out who it shall be. The lorry drivers striking first in this first minute, unconventionally, a little clumsily on the defense. Perhaps we've come to expect it from Team 3. Imperfection, perhaps why we love them. Speaking of imperfection, the musty from RIZEX. To be fair, if he pulled that off, that would have been one of the lowest altitude successful musties I'd seen in some time.
Don't knock the low musty. I mean, if you've watched
the low musty,
the low musty. If you play once or if you watch the salt line, it's really good. It's really strong, just as Kata's pinch is. But the pinch slightly off target. RIZEX tries to do something fancy, but RIZEX never really known for his fanciness on the pitch, rather his brutal effectiveness.
HIBBS A little bit of sneaky boost in the tank there. A little bit of miscommunication perhaps, but it works out. No, it doesn't. CATALYSM, a little bit of a cheeky fake there. Takes his time on the goal line. You will play to his tempo, but HIBBS now for a second beat of the ball after that flip reset. Can't get it past the second defender either.
Once again, it's CATALYSM. It was very, very nearly another circus goal here in the grand final, but CATALYSM this time, he had the clairvoyance. He didn't want to deal with any more shenanigans that we would be going his way. As still though, in a oddly numbered game, it is the lorry drivers leading the charge, and it's their sixth oddly numbered game that they're actually currently winning in a row.
It's just ridiculous. This isn't a thing. They won't have even noticed this much. They won't care.
Yeah,
and yet
I want to say it.
I know, but like, I'm annoyed that it's so perfectly accurate. RIZEX, where's he going? He's trying to. How's he got that boost?
What?
Like, what? The man has just reached out a tire, lobbed his space saver out the boot and grabbed the 100 boost, picked it back up. He's now got the ball at the other end, and I'd be pretty annoyed if I was a lorry driver right now. And you just can't get that corner boost.
That corner boost is now possessed by RIZEX and Team 3, and you shan't ever get it. It's
Even
basically
then it spawned him.
RIZEX just controls all the. He's just a dark magician.
This is crazy. Pulling out the blue eyes white dragon, perhaps. Oh, the lorry drivers, not to find it though inside of the post. That's all they got from that endeavour. HIBBS' shot blocked by MIKEBOY at close quarters as well. GOMB levitating with the ball, going nowhere, R2-D2 style. RIZEX, however, is clearing the ball down the sideline. He's dunking the ball as well to the centre, but no support. Really expecting so many consecutive dunks, but they're going to need to take some chances eventually, because we're going to exclude and forget that that had ever happened. They are still one down, but with very limited time to do anything about it.
If only there would have been a good opportunity just now for the lorry drivers to double their lead, but alas, it wasn't to be. And now they might stare down the barrel of a goal against them, but if it wasn't for HIBBS, it would have happened. But HIBBS was still there, was part of the equation, and that was the equation that led to a 1-0 lead still intact for our dear lorry drivers. Well, just they don't even want to attack, it feels like, at the moment. They're just happy to sit back and...
Are you sure about that?
Well, GOMB just hit a bomb.
Straight up, Skeleton Key arrives, unlocks once again on demand the Team 3 defense. It's a top bin finish. Nothing trash about that one, though. It's 2-0, and is another odd-numbered game going the way of the lorry drivers? Not determined yet, but it's looking pretty likely.
I said it before, I said it again. Not impossible, but damn improbable. This comeback would be from Team 3. As HIBBS tries to find GOMB for the third of the lorry drivers. That is not to be in the end.
Okay, never mind. MIKEBOY. Hang on a minute. Lady Luck dealing a bit of a bad hand to the lorry drivers with the woodwork. Poor GOMB. A fantastic effort, but MIKEBOY. Box in the box. Are we seeing something special?
This kickoff, absolutely crucial. And it's going to be faked. The fake is going to work. MIKEBOY in central. Only going laterally across CATALYSM. Trying to get RIZEX involved. Not enough boost to beat the opposing player in the air. And that's going to be all she wrote. Game 5. Won once more by the lorry drivers.
But, I mean, we got to go to 7, right? It's just not an odd-numbered game.
Can we now say it's a thing? Like,
I mean, it might be.
It's like 6 in a row now. 6 odd-numbered games in a row.
We're heading to game 6, and the defense will just be a scrambled egg. It'll be shambolic and straight up odd-numbered game. The defense is indestructible, like an old Nokia or something. It's crazy. I don't get it. At Team 3, I mean, it's entertaining. I'm here for the ride. I'm loving it, but I'm also frustrated at it. It's a very conflicting emotion.
And I feel like Team 3 is very consistent in what they do. It's just the question whether or not the lorry drivers turn on their monitor or try to play blind. Like that's how it seems. I can't explain the level of variance in the play of the lorry driver otherwise.
Well, here we are. What variance shall it be today? Where are we starting on this game? Is it a cosine? Is it a sine wave? Are we starting at 1 or 0? I don't know, but it's 0-0 on the scoreline, so I'm going to go with that. We've got MIKEBOY, not MarkBoy for once, thank goodness. I said that right, but RIZEX right down middle with his clearance. We've got no further to discovering whether this is lorry driver's game because it's odd.
It is odd indeed, but it's a stronger start for the lorry drivers, who now just have HIBBS remaining, as MarkBoy has brutally murdered the other two. That favor immediately dealt back by MIKEBOY with a demo of his own, but not an effective one, as the attack still goes on through from Team 3, CATALYSM. It's up high, MIKEBOy gets it out.
Did you know RIZEX already has a Saviour medal this game?
I did not.
Wow, you see, you won't find that on the back of the cereal box, will you? But how many will he end up with by the end of the game is the question, because lorry drivers putting up the early aggression, led through HIBBS, dagger down, looking for the favourable 50, but struggled to still find it regardless. CATALYSM takes over, but again, all the boost used by most in the midfield by wrestling the possession itself. What have they got left to create when they get into the final third is the question, and not one that either team has yet been able to answer this game.
Lots of them flying in. More shots than we're usually treated to between these two teams, but none of them with the necessary vigor or heat behind them to really challenge us. Now CATALYSM has an opportunity. Long-range shot, easily dealt with by GOMB.
Time for Mark, unable to take both ball and corner boost as you so often want to do in that scenario, but he prioritised the ball, unlike many ranked teammates, and his team thank him for that. It's GOMB away to the side, ensuring Mark cannot challenge that one too soon. He'll take it comfortably across the backboard, but not before lorry drivers have assumed control over the midfield, and it's popped over the hurdle of Mark as RIZEX looks for the dunk down and finds it. A critical dunk indeed to potentially turn the tide as it's pinched centre, but all too far. GOMB should be able to not collect as he lets it bounce, and rather smartly so, creates himself some space in doing that for a musty pass towards centre. Very nice creative play, though it falls flat on this occasion.
Falls flat, and they nearly paid the ultimate price as MIKEBOy was moved up very, very close indeed as third man. Shot not powerful enough as RIZEX. Oh, that's a brilliant pass, CATALYSM. Not ready for the mechanical mastery of his German comrade.
Yeah, I think we're all loving it when teams put a lot of faith in pre-jumping and faith in their teammates' mechanics, but I'm not sure we're quite in a year ready for those sort of double touch passes to be predicted by teammates just yet. Maybe 2024 would be the year, but it could have and probably should have been something special at this time. It might need something special to make the difference, to even force a game 7, because lorry drivers are still knocking at the door.
Still knocking at the door. They're asking respectfully to be let in.
Respectfully.
See when or if they be able to find the bomb, and they find it indeed. It is GOMB to put it home 1-0.
And it could be a defining goal. I mean, Team 3, they may be on the receiving end, but they are here to fight. And we will see how they do just that in the remaining 85 in the Rendez-Vous 2. Could it be a kickoff goal? No, it's saved by RIZEX. But again, needing to keep the ball away from the centre, and GOMB, who has delivered the goal that stands as the difference between the two teams right now.
GOMB has delivered the goal. Can he deliver now the victory here in the Rendezvous 2? 1 minute between the lorry drivers and ultimate satisfaction, but satisfaction is denied by RIZEX.
They can't get no satisfaction just yet as HIBBS a little mistouch on the defense, and it's immediately punished. You can't make little slip-ups like this at stakes, and at times like right now in this grand final. What a pounce it was from Team 3 and RIZEX, and they're going to need that sort of primitive instinct to remain if they're going to keep us going all the distance.
And it may have been RIZEX to shoot the goal, but it was marked by 8. He was cleared away from the backboard when they conceded, and he did the clearing away now when they scored. The duality of Rocket League perhaps, but GOMB is not finished yet. The cross, but a nice HIBBS is there. Lead reinstated.
What a pass from GOMB though. Double off the ceiling of our eyes. Won the lottery. He nearly finished it himself, but HIBBS was there on the bottom line to place his signature in case needed, of which he was. It's 2-1. Lorry drivers back ahead with a narrow lead into the final 30.
Final 30 going, and demos flying from RIZEX. 2 found. Third one found now by Team 3, who are putting everything in front, marked by 8. The side wall into the positions corner, but cleared confidently by GOMB, and that might just trickle through. It will, and it does.
Could that be it? Marked by 8, waddling along the wall with all the agility of a narrowboat. GOMB just steps in, pinches it off his nose, and Team 3 need a miracle.
12 seconds. It's technically 2 kickoff goals, the best kickoffs that they've ever done. But I don't think it happens, Talactor. I think it's done.
Done it is. The lorry drivers, they win it in not even an odd-numbered game, Muck. They broke the curse as well, and they will take the lion's share of the significant $2.1k prize pool here in the Rendez-Vous. Rendez-Vous 2, because Team 2, now Team 3, have been dethroned. They've been beaten, and what a series it was.
What a series indeed. The lorry drivers, it seemed like they were odd number game merchants, having won 6 consecutive ones. But in the end, in a game 6, of which I'm only slightly salty about, they complete the 4-2 victory. And I mean, each of them going home with $500 to their name.
Not bad. Not bad. And these are weeklies, Muck. They are being pumped out right now. This is the place to be. What a run from the lorry drivers. And congratulations to them, the combination of GOMB, MIKEBOY, and HIBBS as well, because they really just, had to find levels. They really did during this whole bracket run. And we've seen the majority of it here on the Rocket RB. We thank you for joining us for it, because both teams, even in that grand final, the defenses were rarely opaque, but it made for great entertainment all the way.
Great entertainment. Really, it was here for what could only be described as the lorry drivers watch party here, as we followed their entire run from the quarterfinals. As we see 2 Game 5 victories, they've shown a lot of strength, a lot of mental fortitude as well to fight that many games, to fight that tough, to immediately come into any game back to back, not really having a break. It shows some clear intent towards this offseason and towards the grind as well.
Yeah, it certainly does. And we will be right back here next week as well. The grind continues with the Rendez-Vous 3. We thank you so much for joining us this evening. I know we've had a blast bringing you the action. We hope you've had a blast watching and taking it in too. Shout out to you, Muck, for being here, for Jara Jam earlier, for casting as well, and of course, Ben and Rapids behind the scenes. Ben on production, Rapids on the socials. Make sure to follow them all as well on there. It's goodbye from me. It's goodbye from Muck. Have a great evening, and we'll